My brakes locked up.
Okay.
You good?
You know your brakes did not lock up, bro.
I was like, oh my goodness,
Your brakes didn't lock up, your toes locked up. Your brakes didn't lock up, bro. You went. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here. I am back. I'm here to react to a video that I saw randomly. I have not seen it. I don't know what it is. It's about gooning. I am also sick. So I'm gonna try and avoid it. I'm gonna try to run away if I gotta sneeze. If you see a snot bubble, I apologize ahead of time. The public gooning epidemic by 40 Shams. Let's start the video, shall we?
Fucking nutted on my fucking leg! You're gonna help, bitch!
We're already starting off strong. I did not know this is how the video started. I apologize ahead of time.
Oh my god! He nutted on my leg! He nutted on my leg!
Philadelphia man surrenders after allegedly ejaculating on woman's leg. Bro, you cannot make this shit up, bro. You cannot make this up. Oh my god. Philadelphia authorities have identified and apprehended Gary A. Miles, 35, of Southwest Philly in connection with an indecent assault that occurred at a Dollar Tree store. Local rapper Meek Mill contributed to the search effort by offering a $2,000 reward for information leading to Miles' whereabouts. His involvement highlighted the community's collective effort to address the incident swiftly. You know you messed up if you even got the rappers putting money on your head. Ladies and gentlemen, and whatever's left of our collective dignity, come here. We need to talk. Because apparently being freaky in public is a trend now. We got people clapping cheeks in grocery store aisles. And I don't know if this is a result of some sort of weird fetish, but it's been pretty common for these spicy content creators to make content in public locations, for example, like grocery stores. And the thing is, these videos will start all normal and then all of a sudden you'll see some of the worst acting you've ever seen. Like, I know they're trying to sell some sort of like sex appeal or, you know, target the gooners, but it really ends up coming off as satire more than anything else. And besides the weird grocery store behavior, we got people gooning in restaurant drive-thrus.
Hi, how are you?
Yo!
Good. Have you been here before?
Yeah.
Sir, you need to leave. Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Yo, I saw that video. I was so confused. I was so confused. He just thought that was okay. He just thought, yo, let me roll up to this window. Let me roll up to this window. Just pantsless, just dong out. That's what it was. Man was just meat on the leather seats. What the don't your balls stick to the seat? Just meat on the leather seats, bro. I saw the video. It was so crazy, son. I have never in my life seen someone so down bad for sexual attention. You go to a drive-thru for what? For what? What is so broken in you that you have to do this? I don't understand. I truly don't.
Call 911.
And I'm sure you might know who that is. That's Nautica Malone. I've talked about him on my channel before. He's basically viewed as like the progenitor of the public gooning movement. Yes, movement.
Our Nautica, Argent Bikini Beans, 10
They made this. They made him a martyr. Sorry. They made him a martyr?
Arizona, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be served, on earth as it is.
Nah, this gotta be a troll. Nah, this gotta be a troll.
From the Guna side. Amen.
Amen. From the Guna side?
Although it is sad, the gist of the story is that dude basically unalived himself after he was caught on camera masturbating at the drive-thru. And the third category might just be the worst by far, because not only do they goon in public, they take it upon themselves to take that extra step to make sure that it's a public location where kids are present. Ladies and gentlemen, meet NYC's blanket couple. So this freaked out couple obviously couldn't show enough restraint to wait till they got home, so this is what they did. kid trying to enjoy a beautiful Sunday afternoon in NYC. Wow, look at this park. What do we have here? In the middle of the park, the kids literally roaming around. Didn't even bother to find somewhere that was more discreet. In a park, there's usually places where not a lot of people pass by. No, they said, no, we're gonna do it smack dab in the middle of the park where everyone is passing by, where kids are passing by, and who cares who sees? You know, maybe they thought that that blanket was like the invisibility cloak from Harry Potter. That people just kept watching and minding their business kind of bothers me. I'm the type of person, I probably would have went and like splashed them with water, because why are you scarring these little kids? Sometimes I wonder, where are those Karens when you really need them? Because this will be the perfect time to make a scene, to really cause an issue. Now, there isn't a national database that keeps track of gooning and, you know, all the public indecency cases, at least that I know of. But if we examine big cities like New York, we see that there's been reports of an increase in public masturbation. According to NYPD data cited by the New York Post, there was a 51% surge in such complaints through June 30 compared to the same period in 2023. Additionally, the number of criminal summonses issued for public exposure of genitals increased by a staggering 396% in the same time frame. That's an almost 400% increase. In cities like Chicago and other areas within the Cook County, facilities operated by the Cook County Sheriff's Office have seen a dramatic increase in incidents involving inmates masturbating in holding areas, causing distress and harassment, especially for female lawyers representing clients in those areas. And there have been multiple articles that talk about this issue. Public defenders pushed to breaking point by masturbating inmates.
Pushed to breaking point?
How often is this stuff happening? Masturbation epidemic in Cook County court lockups raises questions about jail conditions, county budget, defendant rights. In Atlanta, we got a man who's been continuously arrested for indecent exposure.
Island right by Ponce de Leon. I spoke with a man who lives right over here in these condos. He says he walks out the door and right where I'm standing on this sidewalk, he sees a man exposing himself, touching himself. He's called the police. The man gets arrested and then ends up right back here doing the same thing.
Dude literally respawns, bro. That's insane.
I was in total shock. Like, am I really seeing what I'm seeing right now?
For 3 years, David Robertson has been dealing with this when he walks outside of his Virginia Highland condo.
You know, back in the day, public indecency was that one weird guy in a trench coat. You knew him, you avoided eye contact with him. And oh yeah, depending on where you grew up, there was also the homeless person who wasn't all the way there and would sometimes walk around completely naked. I think as a child, that's like the worst public indecency ever got. And of course, there was that one time period when people were debating whether or not mothers could breastfeed their babies in public, but that's a completely different topic. But see, we went from that public indecency to now having couples, TikTokers, spicy content creators, all contributing to the public indecency problem. We're seeing a shift from accidental nudity to scheduled programming. And a lot of this, believe it or not, goes back to pornography. Every day, the internet vomits out more explicit content than our ancestors saw in their whole lifetime. And everyone from young kids to senior citizens are all consuming this content. And senior citizens might be the worst when it comes to public indecency. There have been a multitude of times where I've caught senior citizens watching spicy content either at like a public library or just somewhere in public thinking that nobody notices. There's literally a bunch of proof online. People catch them all the time.
They have no they have no internet etiquette. They don't know better. They think, oh, I'm on this, so no one's gonna pay attention to me. They're like, well, it's on my computer, so it should be private, right? They have no idea that it is. Everybody can see it. Everybody can see it. But kind of going back to the point I was gonna say, where does this increase come from? Is it a coincidence that the percentages of calls and the percentages of criminal court appearances have skyrocketed? Is that a coincidence, or is there a common denominator of why there has been an increase? Why do people feel more okay? Why has there been an increase of more people feeling okay of exposing themselves in public? That's a question, and a real big question that we have to ask ourselves as a whole society, is that have we been pushing sexual things too much? Has it gotten to the point where that it no longer is locked behind closed doors, but it has to be thrown in everyone's faces? Because it's not a mistake. It's not by accident. Everybody from, like he said, is people have been exposed to that since they were young until they're very, very old. I think there was a statistic that between the ages of 17 and like 70, that I think it was 85% of men had seen pornography in the last month. From 17 to like 70, something like that, and that's a wild statistic. Do you know how big of a Let's look up how many population of men from 17 to 70. This was Google saying right there. 78%. 1865. 78%. That's 78% of people. That's ridiculous. That is such a crazy statistic. That is such a crazy statistic that literally nobody can recover. We're not, you, and a lot of people are lifelong enjoyers. People are lifelong enjoyers of that. That's insane.
Next time you open your big stinking mouth, pal, I will write you up and send you to the office for coming into my room without permission. Is that clear?
Oh.
What I watch as an adult is my choice. You, as a child, wait in the hall until you're invited into my room. Is that clear?
Or maybe instead.
But you're watching it at your job. Wait, how you gonna try and shame a child, which is a child, because you're doing this, you're a teacher, so you're around children all day, and when you're around children all day, you're decided on whatever your lunch break or whatever that you're gonna just whack one out in a school. You're taking out your schmeat at a school, your tallywhacker? You taking out your tallywhacker at a school, my guy? And then you're gonna look at little bro, and you're gonna be like, "Well, you should have waited for me to invite you in." What? You're at work. There is literally no excuse to be at work and try to pull one out to crank out one at work. That's ridiculous. That is oh my god. That actually is.
Instead of trying to blame it on them being a child and you being an adult, maybe don't watch that on a school campus. And the public indecency / gooning problem is even affecting police officers on the job.
In Lake County, a case of distracted driving cost a deputy his job, but a sheriff's office investigation found he wasn't texting before slamming his car into a woman's car.
He was looking at porn. West 2's Justin Schecker got a copy of the internal affairs report and the body camera video from the crash.
The Lake County Sheriff's Office Internal Affairs investigation found that former Deputy Tristan McComber was looking at something not safe for work before this happened.
I'm sorry, you gotta be really lost in the deep end if you're watching porn while driving.
35, his body-worn camera captured the steering wheel airbag deploying. After his department-issued cruiser crashed into the back of another car. The video shows Deputy McComber tossing his cell phone onto the seat and then picking it up before he goes to check on the other driver.
Hello, ma'am. Are you okay? I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
My brakes locked up.
Okay.
You good?
You know your brakes did not lock up, bro.
I was like, oh my goodness.
Your brakes didn't lock up, your toes locked up. Your brakes didn't lock up, bro. You went. Is that too far? I apologize. I'm sorry. That's too far. I apologize.
Yeah, I'm okay.
According to the new internal affairs report, the deputy told a sergeant the brakes locked up before he rear-ended the other car, stopped for a school bus. This deputy no longer works for the Lake County Sheriff's Office. We're told he resigned while facing termination. The Internal Affairs investigation found he wasn't truthful in what he was doing on his phone right before impact. Macomber initially stated he was scrolling through text messages in a group chat with other deputies prior to the crash, but the investigation found he was viewing something that is more visual and inappropriate while on the job. The report's conclusion says Macomber admitted to lying before later revealing he was looking at pornographic material on his personal phone just before the vehicle crash. Deputies found he violated 3 sheriff's office policies. He departed from the truth, used an electronic device for something that's prohibited, and there was substantial evidence he wasn't wearing a seatbelt behind the wheel.
Dang, they got him for the seatbelt too. Dang, not the seatbelt too. Ugh. Man, honestly, that's the most disappointing part of that video.
Oh, that's crazy, bro. So not only does he not care about other people's safety, he doesn't even care about his own. When people start moving like this in ways to endanger themselves and endanger others and, you know, put their whole life in jeopardy, that's how you know it's an addiction, because they don't have any restraint. They don't have any self-control. See, when you're consuming a vast amount of sexual content, there comes a point when you become desensitized to it. Your dopamine system breaks. It's like if you tried to eat a ghost pepper every day and then after that, going to eat a jalapeno. It's just not gonna hit the same. It's the same with people who are over consuming sexual content. It gets to a point where they become numb and they start chasing the next thrill. And for some of these addicts, that next thrill is doing something inappropriate in public. And even if they know it's gonna put them in jeopardy and it's highly risky, since they have poor impulse control, they're gonna do it anyways. Matter of fact, the riskier it is, the more they're gonna enjoy it, because they're looking for a dopamine spike. And dopamine is basically your brain's feel-good chemical. Usually when you accomplish something, reach a goal, your brain will give you some dopamine as a reward. But see, that's only one side of things. When we start talking about these spicy content creators, it starts becoming more about clout, because making sexual content in public brings those likes and views. And the reason it does is because it comes with a certain level of thrill that the audience who's desensitized is seeking. You know, this whole idea of,
oh, I got caught having sex at Walmart.
Whatever it may be, as long as it's just morally indecent. And of course the spicy content creators try to make it seem like it's real. Whole time they got like a whole camera crew. But to the audience, sometimes they do believe it's real. And even if they don't believe it's real, they're still programming their mind to like that type of stuff. So what does that translate to? It translates to them eventually trying it themselves. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is how you connect 2 points. But no, seriously though, all jokes aside, public indecency isn't funny at all. It's really disgusting. It can traumatize people, especially kids, and it creates an unsafe environment. And to be honest, it really signals a deeper issue within our culture. For anyone...
Yeah, but that's exactly what he said. It signifies a deeper issue in our culture. We have let in too much to affect so many people from such a young age that they don't know how to be without it. And I'm speaking as someone who had experience in this addiction, where I started at 8 years old. I was introduced to it at 8 years old by total accident. I was trying to watch cartoons and the internet took me to a website that I had no idea that was going to take me to, and then boom. At 8 years old, I'm hooked. At 8 years old, that's my life for the next 10 years. That's my life for the next 10 years where I'm actively doing it, but it still affects me even to this day of what my relationship with sex is and how I look at it. And it's something I have to work on and struggle with every day and try to make it a more of a healthy relationship. These people have been essentially poisoned for so long that they're becoming immune to poison, but they're addicted since they're so addicted to the point, they're looking for more poison, something that's more venomous, something that's more toxic, more potent, something that's gonna hit like that first time. And nothing will ever hit like that first time. Nothing will ever hit like that first time, but they look for it. They are searching for something. They look for something, because without it, then they go through the withdrawals. And the withdrawals are real. I don't know if y'all ever listen. But like the withdrawals are real, and it's potent, and it's scary, and it makes you realize how dependent your body was on gooning. How dependent your body was on, and if you don't do it, you look like a crackhead. You get migraines. You start lashing out at people. You are irritable. You mood swing. Like you are a shadow of yourself. And a lot of people don't even know who they are without it, and that's sad. But that's where we are as a society in our culture. This is part of our culture. It can't be denied anymore. And yep, guys, that's it. I know I look ridiculous. I am sick, and I apologize for that. No, I'm surprised. I actually got through this video without really coughing or without sneezing, and so I'm pretty proud of myself. And so I love y'all, and you guys stay blessed. Don't stress, and I'll see you guys in the next. Peace.
Just a moment with the wrong thought. Here comes the downfall like a flood, like a flood.